Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bring It Dawn. Let's level up. Exemplar. Mere survival in the grim darkness of the far future is no easy task. To thrive in it, a next to impossible one. But some manage to go beyond and become Exemplars. Not only do Exemplars possess extraordinary knowledge in their given archetypes, but they have also reached the pinnacle of mastery, transcending what is thought to be possible. Core focus, additional abilities and talents from previous archetypes, and new Exemplar talents. So we get a Exemplar talent, a first tier archetype talent. That is going to be a longer episode, because I'm going to read through all of these, and we're going to make it back to Vheabos VI and take care of those events. Attention! After an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains 7% armor, dodge, and 3 movement points until the end of combat. Does not stack. Cataclysm. All damage dealt by the character is increased by 3% until the end of combat for every new enemy damaged by them this combat. Combat Meditation. The character gains 15 willpower as long as they have no ranged weapons equipped. Staves do not count as ranged weapons. Contagion. Whenever the character applies blinded, slowed, fatigued, perplexed, or disturbed effects, one random enemy within 5 cells of the target also gains that effect for 1 round. The same happens if the character inflicts stunned or proned, but the random target makes a resistance test to avoid the effect. Critical Velocity. The character's critical hit chance and critical damage are increased by 7% of their dodge. Crushing Assault. The character's first melee attack each round deals an additional 2 damage for every cell between the character's current position and the spot where they started their turn. The distance is measured in a direct line, ignoring all terrain, with every second diagonal cell counting as 2. Deadly Aim. The character's dodge reduction is higher than the enemy's dodge, before applying the heavy or medium armor penalty modifier. The character's damage against that enemy is increased by 1% for every 5% difference between the character's dodge reduction and the enemy's dodge. This bonus is tripled for critical hits. Death Dealer. Every round after the character kills the first enemy, the character immediately makes an additional single attack against the closest enemy they can target with the same weapon if possible. This attack deals 30% base damage with a 10% bonus for every difficulty tier of the first killed enemy. I.e., if the enemy was of difficulty tier 1, this attack deals 40% damage in total. Degraded Defense. Whenever the character deals damage to an enemy, the enemy suffers 1 stack of the Degraded Defense effect for every 6 damage that the character has dealt. Whenever an ally attacks that enemy, they deal additional damage equal to the number of Degraded Defense stacks. Destroyer. Every melee attack the character makes reduces a target's armor by 6% until the end of combat. This reduction is applied before damage is calculated. Stacks. Disastrous Collision. When targets pushed by the character collide with enemies or cover, both the target and the object they collide with suffer additional damage. Eager for Battle. During the first turn of combat, the character has 2 additional action points. Eager Subordinates. When allies take actions on extra turns given by the character, they deal 15% more damage. Extermination. Any damage the character deals is increased by 1 for every attack they have made this combat. Does not affect damage over time effects, bleeding, burning, or toxin. Firebrand. If an extra turn given by the character's abilities or talents grants MP, the target gains 4 additional MP. If AP, the target gains 1 additional AP. Flagbearer. Allies within 2 cells around the character deal % more damage, scales the fellowship, and suffer % less damage based off your toughness. If multiple characters have this talent, the effect does not stack. Flesh Wounds. At the start of the character's turn, they restore 10% of their maximum wounds. If the character has less than 20% of wounds left, they restore 20% of their maximum wounds instead. Full Attention. Targets that consider the character a priority target deal 40% less damage to the character's allies. Grievous Wounds. Enemies that have 0 deflection or 0% armor against the character's attack suffer 10% additional damage from the character. If an enemy has both 0 deflection and 0% armor, those damage bonuses stack. Know-it-all. The character gains a % bonus to armor, armor penetration, dodge, dodge reduction, critical hit chance, critical damage, and parry chance. Lethal threat. Enemies hit by the character with a melee attack must pass a willpower or resistance test, or make the character their priority target until the start of the character's next turn. Malign influence. Whenever an enemy fails a willpower resistance test against the character, they suffer direct damage. On success, the damage is doubled. That's really funny. Alright, martyrdom. Whenever the character is attacked by an enemy, they gain momentum equal to the difficulty tier of the attacking creature. Masterful display. When the character's single shots deal damage to targets other than their main target, they gain +5 ballistic skill until the end of combat. Masterful precision. Deadeye shot deals additional % damage. The following range attack abilities gain Deadeye shot benefits. So bounty hunters claim the bounty, master tacticians finish the job, assassins death whisper, assassins killing edge, assassins dispatch, operatives dismantling attack, and bounty hunters wild hunt. Out of my way. Whenever the character pushes an enemy, the character gains 4 movement points. Those MP are added after the attack and allow the character to continue movement. Damage dealt by collisions from pushes is increased by 6%. Peak condition. The character gains a bonus to their strength equal to 20% of their maximum wounds. Pretty solid. A perfection under fire. The character gains +5 to all characteristics. This bonus is doubled when they have 25% wounds or less. Pinpoint accuracy. The character ignores... I don't know what the percentage. It's their ballistic skill divided by 2. Of the enemy's deflection rounded down. Psychic awakening. The character becomes an unsanctioned psyker and gains 1 psi rating. Alright, so looks like biomancy, divination, pyromancy are all the same. Psychic powers. So it has the same effect as the other ones, but also deals extra damage to the target. Which target? A puncture. If the character's armor penetration is higher than the enemy's armor, the character's critical hit chance against that enemy is increased by 2% for every 5% difference between the character's armor penetration and the enemy's armor. Relentless. Whenever the character is healed, they regain % more wounds. Revenge. Whenever the character loses wounds, their next melee attack gains 1 damage for every 2 wounds the character has lost. Stacks. Shot through. The character's attacks gain an additional % over penetration. Their over penetration attacks cannot be dodged. Steel Shell. The character's deflection is doubled against single target attacks. Tough as steel. The character gains an additional 12 wounds. Those wounds are further increased by toughness, increasing by a percentage in the same way as basic wounds. Tricky defense. As long as the character wears light armor, the dodge is increased by half of the armor bonus of that armor. Unbreakable Will. The character gains a bonus to all resistance tests equal to 5 times deflection. Unstoppable. The character becomes immune to all effects that reduce their MP. They gain extra MP. Alright, well I think the obvious one is attention. So after an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains 7% armor and dodge and 3 movement points until the end of combat does not stack. It's either that one or... also like Flag Bearer. And Eager Subordinates. I think I'm going to do this one first. So when allies take actions on extra turns given by the character, they deal 15% more damage. That'll be fantastic on Heinrichs. And here we get our officer talents again. I'm going to do lead by example. Whenever the officer uses an officer archetype ability 2 times in one turn that does not grant an extra turn, they gain the Stand Witness effect. And Stand Witness, the next officer archetype ability that does not grant an extra turn will also affect the officer. So I think I only use 2 officer abilities. But maybe that's not worth grabbing, because I won't benefit from that until the next turn. Yeah, it doesn't say it wears off before the next turn, so it looks like my opening turn, I boost their stats, I boost their resolve, give them an extra turn. Then on my next turn, I can boost their effects or boost their stats, and then that'll apply to me as well. Oh, no, let's do this instead. Inspiring Speech. Air of Authority immediately grants momentum to the target equal to the target's resolve. Yeah, let's do that. That's way better. Alright, and she's gonna get... So either shot through or... 10-point accuracy, and there was a third one. Masterful Precision. I think that's the only 3... So now I'll grab Shot Through. The character's attacks gain additional percent over penetration. The over penetration attacks cannot be dodged. I'm also going to grab that on Pascal. And we'll grab... Only 7. So, not going to grab that yet. Yeah, we'll get the upgrade for this. So, Informed Hit. If the operative uses precise attack on a target affected by or more exploits and scores a hit, that hit becomes a critical hit, and it's 10 minus intelligence bonus. Icassia. You're also an officer. I think we'll do the same thing. We'll just grab this, well... Yeah, I still think this is... Where's it at? Oh, it's eager subordinates. I was looking for subordinates down here. I didn't see it. I'll still grab this. Because I always give extra turns to my damage dealers. So it makes sense. And here... Let's do Commanding Voice. The range of the officer's abilities is increased by 3. The range of Voice of Command is increased by 6. Alright, another officer, I think... Yeah, we want the same thing here. It's too good to pass up. So, I don't much care for the extra damage on attacks of opportunity, but the bonus to their weapon skill. But she's usually focused on buffing and giving extra turns to my ranged characters. That's only for melee. Yeah, so we do focus on her. So whenever the officer uses an ability on an ally, that ally gains a bonus to their perception and ballistic skill equal to 8. These bonuses stack, but half the stacks rounded up are lost at the end of the target's turn. Argenta. She's going to get the one that gives us... Cataclysm. So all damage dealt by the character is increased by 3% until the end of combat for every new enemy damaged by them this combat. With her AoE Fire Spray, that'll synchronize really well. Oh, I had no idea intelligence affected that. I forgot all about it. So for each bonus point of intelligence, characters deal 5% more damage with non-burst range area attacks. Man, missed out on that, but we could swap that out for demolition instead, which is a little better. So let's grab demolition engineer. The soldier's demolition instead of intelligence is used to determine additional damage dealt with range area attacks. He has 5% more damage for every 10 points in demolition instead of 5% for each 10 points of intelligence. This is about 5% for every 10. So 25% extra damage. Yeah. Abelard. He had a few that I wanted to give him. So flesh wounds, he doesn't usually take that much damage, so I don't think we need that. Full attention is good. A lethal threat is also good. I assume it works with AoE attacks as well. Let's go ahead and grab lethal threat, because I know I'm going to grab it eventually. So enemies hit by the character with a melee attack must pass a willpower resistance test, or make the character their priority target until the start of the character's next turn. There are a couple more. Like Steel Shell, Toughest Steel is probably good. Yeah, no, actually that's really good. In fact, let's grab this first. So Toughest Steel. The character gains an additional 12 wounds. These wounds are further increased by toughness, increasing by percent, in the same way as basic wounds. And he had another ability. I think it's the upgrade for Haunting Scream. This would be good too. Because that would also increase his strength at the start of his turn. Oh, that's the one I wanted, was the one... Heat condition. That's alright. We'll start with Toughest Steel. We get more than one, so I'm not too worried about it right now. Alright, so where is this other... I like that too. But there's the upgrade to the shout. Did I already grab it? I'm going to go through all of these real quick. Not reading them, just looking for the little note saying that you need Taunting Scream in order to grab it. So there was a talent for Taunting Scream that forces them to make the save with a penalty. Let's go ahead and grab... Oh, this is pretty good too. Crowd kill is pretty solid. There's some good options here. I mean, Clenched Teeth is also really good. Darn it, I can't find the other talent. To just make note of the names. Alright, yeah, Invigorating Hatred. So when the warrior ends their turn near an enemy affected by the sworn enemy ability, the warrior gains temporary wounds. Oops. Alright. And he's, of course, going to get Critical Velocity. The character's critical hit chance and critical damage are increased by 7% of their dodge. Yeah, pretty solid. I don't think he needs more critical hit chance, but the critical damage is just... There's a reason not to keep stacking it, right? Level 40. Darn, 5 levels to go. Let's do Psalms of Heroes. The Psyker Psi rating is increased by 1 to the end of combat every time an ally uses a heroic act. Alright, Pascal, you're gonna get... where's it at? Shot Through. Seen it before. I wonder if this works on a target that has one exploit, but you apply one more. Oh yeah, let's do this. A joint offense. The operative's allies gain percent hit chance and critical hit chance while attacking targets affected by exploits, which should be all of them in his line of sight. That's just a nice little buff for everybody. Alright, to Vheabos VI. There's a lot of good options there. I'm going to go through and make notes which talents I want to grab on everybody. I think all my officers are going to basically share the same feats. Alright, we've seen that before. That's the guy that wanted to do a mass inspection, but it was too expensive, so he jumped off the, whatever it was, accelerator, something. Some device on the ship. Hey, Yanis needs our attention. Is that where we're at? Is that here? It should be the system we're on top of, if I'm not mistaken. Mysterious Visit. What a coincidence. And done. Alright, so it's another one of those, I think, bugged out events that we shouldn't be seeing. Alright, here, there, right? Oh. Tech Priest reported a brief malfunction in the Geller field generator that left the vessel exposed to the warp for a brief second. According to the Enforcer reports, something did manage to get into the ship, and is now prowling the dark corridors of Loading Bay 5. I'll send patrols into the affected chamber. Several armed teams left to search for the unknown creature that had invaded the vessel. All but 2 returned with nothing to show for it, but hair turned prematurely gray, and horror stories of what was happening in Loading Bay 5. One team brought back a bizarre trophy allegedly found behind a shattered bulkhead. The last team was never seen or heard from again. Let's go beat up some invaders. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that at least one of the events on Vheabos VI we can't do anything with. It'll be another one of those bugged out events.
Fate and fortune favor the bold. You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Request approved.
This battlefield air is good for my lungs. You've got a problem. I've got a prize. Am I getting paid for this? Oh, you're no fun. I'd like to, but I can't.
Oh, why can't I put that right here? There's no way she can't see right here, right? Oh,
I can do that
other
with the
zone,
right incentive. It's nothing.
Oh, there's a lot of demons. Heinrichs is gonna have a field day. Wow, 0 damage across the board. Not a very good psyker.
Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act.
I wonder if that counts as an attack against new enemies for the turn.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen.
Alright, so he'll burn to death on his next turn at least. One less to worry about.
On it. I'll make it happen. Who, if not me?
Eradicated.
I'm gonna save. That for one of these guys.
Indeed. Victory is imminent. One fewer target.
I won't object.
That's why I can't finish him off anyway.
Vulnerability analysis successful.
Living on the edge. Tell me, and it is done. Don't get too cocky.
Yeah, let's do this and then try to get her
Doubt
in a
is
better
for the
position
weak.
with her. Well, actually, I don't think it matters.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
So do that, then
They'll
this.
write legends about me.
I think she's about to
God
wrap up the fight,
Emperor,
right?
move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
It'll be close. Whoops, I misclicked. Did I line up right? I did not.
Eradicated.
Alright, once again, Argenta has
Always
proven
keep your
herself.
eye on the prize.
Alright, Heinrich needed a break anyway. Plus, he's not very good against blue horrors. I do appreciate how random encounters and like every fight's experience feels worth it. We're leveling up pretty quickly. Now, there are a ton of levels in the game, so you should level up fairly quickly.
Exterminate every last one of you.
Your Emperor won't save you!
Jai's fine where she's at. Argenta. I move her forward. Oh, maybe the other upgrade, it wasn't what I thought it was. It's the one that gives him extra armor for taunting a bunch of enemies, right? No, that's for the Vanguard. Oh.
Let's make some opportunities.
Running binaric override. The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Could probably be more careful with these containers. There's no reason to explode them.
You've got a prop, Jai Hedari. Remember the name. Am I getting paid for this?
And there's one guy down there. However, they're not worth. I'll probably have Pascal take care of that guy.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer.
Vengeance.
Chaos guides me!
I've faced worse than this. Get me a target. Naturally.
Want to get him into the fray as soon as possible.
I will endure.
Death to the weak!
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
I will do my duty. Someone else can do this.
I am ready for whatever comes.
Let that be a lesson to you.
I'll make it happen. I won't compromise my principles.
Nice.
I bring
Oh, there's another one down there. I'll take care of them next.
Negligible.
Okay, now I'm really riled up.
Reading damage to bulk.
I know what I'm doing, usually.
Alright, Heinrichs. Get to work.
Let's see to it. Your reckoning is due.
But of course, Lord Captain, I'm done with this one. I won't object to it.
Yeah. Oh, he's not immune to it.
Let's see to it.
Let's suck on that, buddy.
Nothing stands against me.
Don't get too cocky.
Doubt is for the weak.
It was only a coin toss, but it was a good coin toss.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Your reckoning is due. I feel the power surging.
Oh, that's all she wrote.
Didn't flinch.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Alright. Hopefully the last fight before we reach Vheabos VI, but who's to say?
I've faced worse than this. Is there money to be made?
Sweet. I do really enjoy this fight.
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
I really need to optimize. We're not going to lose this fight. Probably even if I tried. Are they immune to burning? No, just resistant. Which doesn't mean anything here.
At your beck and call. It will be done.
Tell me, and it is done.
Let's slap the front line over here. I'm gonna have Haskell take out a bunch of enemies real quick.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
Running binaric override.
Don't get too cocky.
Man, I'd love to save these guys and watch Argento put some work in, but I think this is fine.
Activate force mode sacrament.
Guided by faith. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Rejoice in battle!
Indeed.
Such is the will of chaos.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. On it.
I won't object to it.
Fantastic. Alright.
Accept your lot.
I think there's one more enemy. Oh, wait. That was just the one guy left over there. I don't think Hydrix can get to him. There's usually two guys up here. One of the cultists and a bloodthirster, right? Or two cultists?
Let's see to it. The Emperor is on our side. Low momentum.
That worked out. Luckily, Heinrichs has a ton of mobility as well as a bunch of damage.
Keep your wits about you.
He's like a melee artillery piece. You can't outrange him. You can just run all the way across the map. Alright, renewal of data-vows. An explorer ship has arrived on the planet. In accordance with an ancient pact forgotten by all but themselves, they intend to conduct general system maintenance and renew data-vows. I mean, these are all extremely beneficial. Why would I not just take the best? Yeah, exchange gifts. We'd want to keep good terms with the Mechanicus regardless. Having performed the restart liturgy on every tech block and re-sanctified the energy substations, the tech priest departed. Before leaving, they eagerly exchanged gifts by offering priceless technological marvels and accepting high-quality materials in return. And Holy Delegation. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso has arrived on the planet for a brief visit. A great many itinerant pilgrim have come with him in hopes of finding a new home. Huh. Yeah, I think, I could see me doing this on, like, a heretical run. So, accept the faithful. If I didn't say, and the weak of faith. Many of the pilgrims, weary from the years of wandering, decided to settle in the Rogue Traders' colony. Reverend Hieronymus departed for another world, taking the rest of the faithful with him in search of a planet that could become their home. Alright, let's do some trading real quick, and then see if we... I think we need like 29,000. Reputation with the followers... What are they called? Followers of the Void? Fellowship of the Void. I know it's an F word. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time, I guess we head towards Grantis. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.